The content editor on Engage is a tool that allows users to make remarkable experiences. In this tutorial, we'll be showing you how to use the content editor in Engage. First, go to the Create and Edit button, find the content creator, and then click on the new scene. This will bring up the content creator. There are many functions you can use while on this panel. You can use the right side of the mouse to look around. To move forward, you can use W, backwards is S, A slides left, D slides right, Q moves vertically upwards, and E moves vertically downwards. To remove the editor panel, press Escape. To bring it back, press Escape again. First, we're going to save our project. Go to this Save icon here. You can name your project, give it a title, set the length of your animation, and then click on Save. This is the timeline. When adding objects to your sequence, they will show up here. For this example, we will be using animals. Go to the IFX button and find the 3D model you are looking for. To start, we will use a pole. The object will be added to start at where the playhead is. You can customize the IFX. You can grab the beginning and end of the timeline and drag it back and forth. To make sure it's accurate, you can click on the gear in order to fully customize the time of the IFX. You can also clone an IFX by clicking on Clone. Just like how the IFX acts in your environment, you can use the gizmo to move the object around. You can also hold down Control and select multiple objects, then use the gizmo to move the objects around. This will create a start line and finish line for our animal race. You can use Snap in order to snap the objects to an invisible grid, to align our start and finish lines. You can now name your IFX, click on the gear for each to rename the objects. We will number them for now. Now you'll need your race participants. We will bring our playhead to the beginning and then load up two new IFX. We'll use a wolf and a fox. Remember, when you load IFX, you will have to make sure you have the correct amount of time with them on the timeline. Now, let's position our IFX. Using the gizmo and snapping, we will make sure the wolf is facing the right direction and starting behind the start line. We will now do the same process for the fox. We will need to animate the animals now. You'll have to add keyframes to animate the animals. Make sure you're at the starting point, and then click on the keyframe button here. Then, move the IFX using the gizmo to the finish line and set a keyframe at the end where your animation finishes. Now, let's watch the animation. Using this icon, jump to the start of the timeline and then press play. Because it plays slow, let's retime the animation. Click on this icon to go to the dope sheet, which shows you your animation in more detail. If you want the race to play faster, drag the keyframes at the end to earlier in the timeline. You can play the animation at any time to see how fast it is. Let's speed it up a little more by dragging the keyframes to earlier in the timeline. Now, let's do the same process for the fox. Now, let's go over animation overrides. Select the object and click on the gear, then click on Animation Overrides. Switch the object so between 3 and 10 seconds, the object switches to a run. This will make the animation look more smooth. Do the same process for the fox. Next, we are going to put a bird in the center of the track. Once the animals get close, it will disturb the bird and it will fly away. Find IFX for a large bird. Place it in the middle of the track. We'll follow a similar process as before to properly place the bird on the ground and make sure it exists throughout our timeline. Scrub ahead to find where the bird will fly away. Using keyframes, set the bird so it flies off to the side when approached by the animals. Retime the bird if need be so it does not overlap with the other objects. Finally, play the animation to ensure everything looks smooth and save your project.